Hello and welcome to part 1 of 3 of assaults.
Today we're charging into contact so we can get stuck in for butcher's work.
Today we will be explaining how assaults work. Assaults have a lot to them, however, so we will be breaking this video down into 3 shorter videos. Moving into contact and defensive fire, fighting an assault and counter-attacking, and breaking off and consolidating.
So first of all, who can launch an assault?
Only armoured tank units and infantry units that are not pinned down can launch assaults. However, they can't assault if they fired at their halted rate of fire, being too busy to rush forward, bayonets fixed. Some infantry units, however, have heavy weapons like tripod-mounted machine guns or mortars, so they can't assault either.
Okay, so my Panzer Grenadier platoon is ready to assault, so what do I do to get started?
The first thing you have to do is charge into contact. When charging, you move any of the teams in your unit up to 4 inches or 10 centimeters until they're in contact with the enemy teams. That means that their base is touching the base of an enemy team. Infantry teams are also in contact if they're touching the base of a team of your own that is already in contact with the enemy team.
Okay, your paratroopers are behind a fence here, so how do I charge into contact if I can't get my bases to actually touch theirs?
So if a team cannot physically touch the enemy due to intervening terrain, put it as close to the terrain as possible and treat it as if it is in contact.
So is this the same if I were assaulting with one of my tanks?
Assaulting with tanks is exactly the same, but keep in mind that tank teams do have to still roll cross-checks when crossing difficult terrain. If the cross-check is failed, the tank stays where it is or falls back to be 2 inches or 5 centimeters away from the enemy if it's closer than that.
Okay, so this is where your units would perform defensive fire, yeah?
Yep, exactly correct. As your Panzer Grenadiers charge at my parachute rifle platoon, my team will fire at you with defensive fire. So every team within 8 inches or 20 centimeters of an assaulting team shoots just like in the shooting phase, firing at their halted rate of fire, or if they're pinned down, at their moving rate of fire, as normal for being pinned down.
So the 3 teams I contacted and these others who are in range, they're all close enough and will shoot.
Yep, that's right. They were pinned down by your shooting.
Which is always a good idea before assaulting.
Certainly is. So they will shoot with their moving rate of fire. I'll have 7 shots, and since you aren't concealed, I'll hit you on your is hit on number of 4+. And that's 1, 2, 3 hits. Now I was hoping to roll 5 hits.
Why 5 hits?
Well, I want to hit you 5 times because if an assaulting unit takes 5 hits from defensive fire, it is pinned down and must fall back 2 inches or 5 centimeters away from the enemy, and the assault is over. Although big units with 12 or more teams in contact are a bit tougher, and it takes 8 hits to make them fall back.
Okay, so my Panzer Grenadiers charge into contact with your parachute rifle platoon, and you didn't get 5 hits, so you didn't force me to retreat, so what do I do now?
It's true, I didn't get the 5 hits on you, you're not pinned down, but I did get these 3 hits on your troops. I'll allocate them now to the 3 at the front, so now you roll saves.
Okay, so saves for assaults work just the same as in the shooting phase, right? I roll a save for each hit, which is 3+ for my Panzer Grenadiers.
Yeah, it works the exact same way. Any teams that fail the save are immediately destroyed.
So 2 of them failed. So what do I do now? I just take the front 2 off, and what happens to the guys behind them?
So they'll move up to fill the hole in the assault.
Okay, so that's up there. All right, so that's part 1 of assaulting, and we'll move on to the actual assault in the next video.
Fighting and counter-attacking.
Oh, there we go.